Invisible: The Rise, the Ruin, and the Resilience of Mark Grayson. From the moment Mark Grayson first launched into the sky, unsure, trembling, and wide-eyed, we knew we weren't just watching another superhero origin story. We were witnessing a boy hurtled into a world drenched with betrayal, blood, and brutal truth. One punch, one heartbreak, and one mortal reckoning at a time. Invisible, the prime Amazon animated phenomenon, isn't just about superpowers and high-octane battles. It's about pain, resilience, and the enduring hope that somehow, even in a world gone mad, a single person can make a difference. Mark Grayson, Invisible, is that person. The weight of legacy. Mark begins as a typical high school teenager, juggling hormones, pop quizzes, and fast food jobs. But he's not normal. Not really. He's the son of Omni-Man, the most powerful superhero on Earth. A godlike figure beloved by millions. When Mark's powers finally ignite, he feels unstoppable. He's got the name, the strength, the speed. He's ready to be a hero. But nothing prepares him for the truth. In Season 1, the series violently rips away the veil of idealism. Omni-Man's Mark's father, his idol, isn't a savior. He's a conqueror, a Viltrumite sent not to protect Earth, but to prepare it for domination. Their father-son clash is a legendary, catastrophic, and unforgettable. Mark Grayson was born in the shadow of greatness and darkness. His father, Nolan Grayson, better known to the world as Omni-Man, was Earth's greatest protector, a symbol of unstoppable strength, courage, and leadership. To Mark, he wasn't just a superhero. He was his dad, the man who taught him how to catch a baseball, who smiled as Mark spoke about girls in school, who stood tall at family dinners and promised that he would always be there. But that promise was a lie, and nothing in Mark's life would ever be the same after the day his father revealed the truth. The brutal battle between father and son isn't just physical, it's psychological. It's philosophical also. It's heart versus power, love versus legacy. Nolan tries to beat obedience into his son, pounding him into the ground while screaming that this world, these people, this life is beneath them, and that something greater was in store for them. Mark, bloodied, teeth shattered, barely able to stand, looks up and says, "I would have you, Dad." In that moment, Mark isn't just refusing tyranny, he's choosing love, and Nolan flees. Not because he's defeated in combat, but because he's defeated in conviction. The Empire couldn't take the humanity out of his son, and somewhere deep down, Nolan realizes they never fully took it out of him either. Their battle scenes alone are raw, disturbing, and symbolic. Crushes Mark's innocence, and yet he survived. Bloodied, broken, but not beaten. That's what makes Mark iconic. Mark's journey isn't just about how many punches he can throw. It's about how many he can take without giving up on what's right. In Season 2, we watch a fractured boy trying to rebuild his soul in a world that no longer makes sense. He still believes in heroes. He still wants to save the world. But the lines are blurred. He loses friends, he fails people, he lets lives slip through his fingers. But what makes him endearing is that he never loses himself. Mark doesn't just become jaded. He wrestles with despair, but he doesn't surrender to it. He fights on, not for glory, not for legacy, but because people need him. By the time Season 3 rolls in, Mark is no longer the naive teenager hoping to impress his father. He's becoming his own man, scarred by truth but not defined by it. He transforms and evolves into his own authentic self. The threat of Viltrumites grows heavier. Mark is pulled into a galactic war, grappling with the harrowing expectations of his alien heritage. But in these harrowing moments, his humanity, his earthly heart, becomes his greatest weapon. He questions himself constantly. Is he strong enough? Is he good enough? But that doubt, that vulnerability, only fuels his evolution. The show's most powerful arcs, Mark is forced to make an impossible decision: save a planet at the cost of thousands, or fight a war he cannot win. In this crucible of choice, this boiling moral complexity that shows us who Invincible really is, he chooses the hard path, the right path, the human path. Invincible doesn't hold back. The show is savage, unapologetic, and drenched in realism. Despite its superhuman theatrics, bones shatter, blood flows, good people die. But in the middle of that chaos, Mark stands tall. Not because he's the strongest, but because he's the most resilient. He loves deeply, he apologizes, he tries. And when that fails, he gets back up again and again. That's what makes him unforgettable. He's not perfect. He doubts himself. At times, he bleeds, but that's why we believe in him. Because if Mark Grayson, Invincible, can still believe in hope after everything he's been through, maybe we can too. Mark Grayson's story is far from over, but already his legend is sealed. He's the boy who stood up to a god, the son who rejected genocide, the hero who understands that saving the world isn't about being the strongest. It's about never giving up, no matter how broken you are. And in a world where power often corrupts, Mark Grayson shows us that the most heroic thing a person can do is hold on to the goodness in their heart. Because even in a universe of monsters, lies, and betrayal, Invincible still believes, and so do we. And that's a wrap on today's video. Thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate you spending time with us. This is Naser Subashi. Keep on creating, keep on dreaming, and most importantly, don't forget to have some fun in the process. Until next time.